Some of you may have seen my video I posted this morning about a recent adventure where I think I injured my knee, and I think it's a structural injury, but there could be a neuroplastic component. So I wanted to hop on and talk about that just a little bit because this is a big part of a recovery journey with chronic pain for everybody. A lot of times when you have chronic pain, and I was the same way, it develops when you think it's an injury, so you try to avoid using it. You're really careful with it. Your brain begins to create an association between moving a certain way and having pain, and then learns that pain. So my goal with this part of the journey is to drop the fear, minimize the fear, just like when I work with all my clients, eliminating the fear eliminates the fuel of neuroplastic chronic pain, which is chronic pain that's just a protection sensation from your unconscious mind. So in this case, I did hear a pop, I did feel a pain in the moment, so that may be indicative of an actual injury. And I headed to the doctor and visited. Actually, I saw a PA, an orthopedic PA, who did like a very minimal, very almost seemed pointless examination. I'd seen some on YouTube of how to evaluate whether or not you have a meniscus issue, a meniscus tear, or irritation. And those ones on YouTube were way better. So stick with YouTube, I guess. But what I'm learning about the medical system is you're really paying, and I did a cash pay, and you're really paying for that practitioner, in this case, a physician's assistant, to write you an order to get the test you need. And then I went and got the MRI, but the system is so set up for insurance, which is insane in my book. The US, that's a whole nother topic. But so with the insurance system, the medical system, you're really paying for that piece of paper to go get evaluated, to go get your MRI. So I got the paper, took a couple hours, couple $100, and I had the paper. So I went to get my MRI, and I went to one place, and they basically were saying, well, we can't get you in right away, and you got to do A, B, and C, and D, and fill all this paperwork. And I went to the other place, and it was like some kind of DMV. I'm in Florida, and it is backward here. I tell you, I went in, and there was like a line with a DMV feel. It had that vibe, like people are really down and out there, just really like suffering, and the place is all beat up, and there's like, I mean, DMV's in Florida. Last time I went, there's blood on the wall. I mean, it's wild in Florida. So anyway, I went to the MRI place. I went up, they scanned the order. I had a physical piece of paper for an MRI of my knee, and I gave it to them. And then they gave me a piece of paper and they said, call this number and schedule. So I called to schedule, and they're like, we can't get you into the end of May. I was like, I laughed, the end of May. So I rushed back to the other place. I'm like, hey, can I just get in? Oh yeah, we have a spot tonight, so you're just gonna have to wait a couple of hours and pay, just cash pay it again. And so $300, and then they wanted a disc. Like the PA here wants a disc. They want like a disc drive disc, like a CD-ROM. Like I was like, what? And they charge extra for the disc. So I was like, whatever, got to do it. So I did it, and that was a wild experience. It was like a half open MRI. So I was halfway in. I told the tech, please, they let you pick your music. I picked Jason Isbell, who I went to see his concert last Sunday, which was pretty amazing. Really loved it. So I was listening to Jason Isbell, and they rolled me in, and it took about 20 or 30 minutes. Loud clanging noises. I had earplugs, but I still listened to Jason Isbell. And now I'm working on getting the report. They can't give me the images except on the disc they gave me. I don't have a disk drive. So if any of you has an idea, drop it in the comments. And if any of you are here in Melbourne, Florida, drop it in the comments. I need a way to look at those images. I asked for the report as well because they read the there's someone who's going to look, hopefully a physician is going to look, not just a toddler, is going to look at the images and make a report. So if they make that report, it should be accessible to me, right? I paid for this. And I spoke earlier to the rep, and she said she'd email it. No email. So I don't know what's going on with my knee. I don't know if it's a structural injury, and I don't know if it's a bad tear or a mild irritation. Could be any kind of thing. And I did advocate for myself with the PA, saying I don't want an x-ray as well. Like usually they do x-ray, they step it up in terms of the insurance protocols. But because I'm cash pay, I'm in a health share, I'm in Zion Health Share, which won't kick in until over $5,000, but I'm in the health share, so I'm cash paying up until that point. So I advocated for myself and I spoke up. And then she said, "Oh, I can maybe when you come back, I can give you a steroid injection." All right. So does that actually help me heal? No. And the stroke risk increases. I've had a couple injections on my recovery journey from chronic pain, and they were disastrous, really disastrous. One injection from a naturopath, didn't really know what she was doing. She was certified, but she stuck it in my hip and my leg went numb for like an hour. It was terrifying. And the other injection did nothing, got my hopes up. So if you're on a chronic pain journey and you're not sure if you have an actual injury or it's just a protection sensation from your unconscious mind, then I advocate going to the doctor, but knowing that the doctor just has opinions. And some of it might be neuroplastic, some of it might be structural. So this is the journey I'm on again. And it's a journey that I'm handling because my fear levels are non-existent or very low going through this. Frustration levels, yeah, they're I'm getting a little challenged. So that's fun. But stick with me. I'll keep updating everybody with my YouTube channel. I'm going on a hiking trip on May 8th. So I need to figure out if my knee is hikeable, if it's ready to go. And in the meantime, I'm doing some more physical therapies like infrared heating pad, magnets. I have a degree in magnetobiology, magnets and wound healing from New College in Florida. So I'm using a magnet. I've got a magnet on it right now, a high powered solid magnet. So I'm doing that, a little bit of icing. So I'm doing some of the physical stuff as well as the neuroplastic processes that got me out of my bed when I was bedbound with chronic pain for like a year. I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand. I mean, it was just a hell walk, which is why I created this channel. Thanks for the hearts and the celebrations. I need it. I appreciate y'all's support. Subscribe if you want to hear about the rest of this journey. And if you want to read about my chronic pain journey, head over to my website, healingwolfcoaching.com. I'm documenting this little journey of mine with my knee to show you what can happen and to give you the heads up. If you have an injury, you go into the doctor, they can create nocebos, they can get you to do things that make it worse. So I want you to avoid that. Just like on my recovery story with Flip on my YouTube channel. Some of you may have seen that, where they were wanting to do all kinds of stuff to her. And I was like, no, you're not doing that. You're going the neuroplastic route. There's no way this is structural because you've been hiking the Pacific Crest Trail and your muscles are powerful. And they were saying, well, it's muscle imbalance and maybe we should inject it and all this. Yeah, no. I said no to that. So check that out too if you like. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, folks. And I'm here for you if you're on a journey of recovery with chronic pain, anxiety, and panic. I work with clients one-on-one and use some powerful techniques. And I provide a lot of free resources as well. So check out my website again, healingwolfcoaching.com. Stay tuned and I'll bring you along on this adventure. The medical system is an adventure and trying to figure out if an injury is really an injury, because I was just stepping into a van. I do heavy squats. I do all kinds of stuff. Like, how can that be an injury? I didn't fall off of a truck. I mean, so that's a big question here. So I'm gathering evidence and I'm going to use that evidence to determine if it's very structural or if it's mostly neuroplastic. And the weird thing is that the mind can create pretty much any sensation in a neuroplastic way, not just a structural way. So it's a bit of a mystery. I'm solving it and happy to have you along for the journey. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next video.